A very good evening to all the participants. My name is Dr. Vignesh. I am part of the National Digital Library of India team. Uh, on behalf of the PN Panika Foundation and the National Digital Library of India, we are very pleased to invite you for this 25th webinar during this 1 month National 25th National Reading Day and Reading Month, Digital Reading Month celebration, which commenced on 19th June, and today we are on 17th July. It's almost 29 days. Tomorrow we are going to have the closing ceremony of this 1 month long reading month celebrations by evening 5 o'clock, and today we have this session is primarily on preservation of library resources, especially the manuscripts and books post COVID-19 situation. And we have a very renowned and very humble personality with us today, Dr. P. Perumal, who is the former conservator of Tanjavur Saraswati Magal library, and which is very one of the very renowned libraries in the world. And Perumal sir worked in Tanjavur Saraswati Magal library from 1980 till 2012. So he served almost 32 years in the Tanjavur Saraswati Magal library as conservator as well as chief librarian of the library. And currently he is uh, the state coordinator for the national the Tamil Nadu manuscripts mission. So without taking much time, now I request Balagopal ji, who is the vice chairman of PN Panika Foundation, to formally welcome our resource person for today's webinar. Over to Balagopal sir. So kindly unmute your mic and then you can speak.
Thank you, Vignesh ji, to give me a chance to invite Dr. Perumal ji to this webinar. Dr. Perumal ji, namaste.
Namaste.
Perumal ji, can you hear me? Namaste.
Namaste, namaste, sir.
Namaste. I've heard a lot about you from Dr. Vignesh.
Thank you,
and I was also going back to my school days, because in school days, sometimes I used to go to my father's office at from 1 kilometer from my home, and Dr. Raghavan Bulla, he was then the Dr. Raghavan Bulla. He introduced me to Dr. Raghavan Bulla. Raghavan Bulla is a very senior man. Dr. Raghavan Bulla, that time he was telling me, I am the chief librarian of the Travancore Manuscript Library. Travancore Manuscript Library. Then I was not knowing about this manuscript library. Then I was thinking how this manuscript library can preserve. Then I requested him, sir, I want to come to your office one day. And I went there and I saw what you call tremendous, splendid collection of what you call this materials in very dilapidated conditions, because it was taken from the Travancore Maharaja's house, then other places also. Dr. Honorable made it, because that was the only this library, manuscript library at that time. And manuscript library has got, because he was busy with collecting the rarest materials. I peeped into it and was wonder how this can be preserved for the future generation. I am told that, and you, as the state secretary, state coordinator of the digital library, this manuscript library of Tamil Nadu, you are doing a great work to preserve the very precious manuscripts of our rulers, our personalities, and who have prepared everything in Taliola. In Kerala, we used to Taliola. And I am grateful to you that you are telling us the experience you had in preserving this manuscript library and the value of the manuscript library for the future generation. And now these libraries are digitalized. All these library materials are digitalized. How you are, I want to know. That's my personal question, sir. I want to know how you are digitalizing these very old Taliolas, etc., and bringing to this digital fold for that it will be a asset for the future generation. Thank you for this webinar, and we want to hear from you the way you have organized the world largest, the world renowned Tanjavur library. Because when we speak about Tanjavur, I had a very good friend. He was a senior IAS officer of Tanjavur, from Tanjavur, senior IAS officer from Tanjavur, Doctor Saptarshi, LV Saptarshi. You may be knowing him.
No, no, I'm
LV,
not doing.
LV is one of the prominent man
Okay.
in that local area, because he was the first IAS officer from Chidambaram.
Oh,
So IAS officer from Chidambaram in West Bengal Kota. In West Bengal, he was in the West Bengal Kota. And he was telling me when he visited, because at the time there was no restrictions in meeting the presidents and vice presidents and prime ministers. He, as a student, just passed out from the BA. He went to the to see the Radha Krishnan. He was the president of India. Yes, Radha Krishnan, Dr. Radha Krishnan. And he told him about what he has returned for the IAS test, etc. Then the other student was asking him about the digital library of this Tanjavur. He was referring me. Tanjavur had Balgopal. He was come and see that, but I had not the what you called what you call that I could not come and see, but I would come to the temple and worship the temple, and I have gone through some of the places in Tanjavur also. And here I don't know the introduction to go to this the library, which was one of the world renowned libraries of the international level. So Vignesh told me that you have put all your efforts during 30 hours and made it is one of the world wonder. I have regards with you, sir, and I
okay. Thank
respect
you.
you, sir.
Thank
So I want to know your experience also. Your experience of setting up of this this manuscript library, and your problems and your headaches, your hardship. We would like to hear. I would like to hear, sir, personally. With these words, I am welcome you to this webinar again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm very thankful to Vignesh and the organizers to give me the opportunity to share my experience. Actually, today I was concentrated only printed book only because what is the problem after COVID-19? Because the library was closed more than 2 months. When we are opening, what will be happen? What are the precautionary measures we get to take? And that is it. Just because of your words, just I want to give some brief introduction about our Saraswati Mahal Library. The Saraswati Mahal Library is one of the ancient library in India. This was started as a palace library around 1600. Because the Tanjavur was ruled by various kings. After Chola, this was captured by Vijayanagara kingdom, and their representatives, Nayaks, were ruled from 1600, 1534 onwards. So from 1600, there is one Raghunatha Nayaka. He built the palace and he started the library. So from that day, the library is there. So now we have both the government of India, government of Tamil Nadu is looking after. We have 49,000 manuscripts. And some who ruled from 1798 to 1830 was on par with our Swati Tirunal. He was a friend of Swati Tirunal because he has a link of transcript. And he collected more books and manuscripts because this collection was made as a library by him only. So because he is ordered to catalog the library. Even now we are having the catalog of the earliest manuscript. What are the manuscript? 1801, the catalog date back to for palm leaf manuscript in palm leaf form and that of paper manuscript in paper form. So the only palm leaf catalog, the earliest catalog available in this library only. And we have Sarfoji personally collected some 5,000 books in European languages, which printed before 1830. So are very rare books also. In that way, this is one of the earliest collection and earliest and very rare manuscripts also there. The earliest manuscript we are telling is the 11th century manuscript is a Palavatri. It is in Jaiminiya Sutra, is Veda Sutra. And we have another other language. We have four languages, major in Sanskrit, Marathi, Telugu, and Tamil languages. Sanskrit itself having various scripts also there. So because you know the Grantha is a common script in Tamil Nadu, and we have a Tihalari, it's a special script on the border of Kerala and Karnataka, and in Anjanagari in Karnataka and Maharashtra, and we have a Telugu script also, and Devanagari script. These are the very scripts are there, and these are all these things are manuscripts are very rare, and we have a catalog from 1920 itself. It was they have started catalog. Totally, we have 62 volumes are there for cataloging, and the digitalization we have started some 5 years back only, sir. Now recently we have completed. Even the Sanskrit it could not complete it because we have Sanskrit 39,000 titles. So it is going on. But all the other collections, Marathi is completed, Telugu is completed, and Tamil is also nearly completed, and the Sanskrit is going on. The Tamil manuscript, the Tamil Nadu government has concentrated for the digitalization of the Tamil manuscript. So you know there is a in the whole India there is the manuscript preservation started in 1868. The Governor General Governor General Lawrence, Henry Lawrence, he ordered because his Sanskrit teacher, one is Radhakrishna Sastri, requested him because mostly all the pandits after learning English they have joined different job, so that nobody is there to keep the manuscript there. So by the order of Lawrence, various manuscript libraries collections were there, all the cataloging was there. That was in 1868. Mostly the North India was benefited for the collection of more manuscript books. But in South India, just we are not, because we have a different script and we are not having much expertise. And slowly it was there. But in 2003, our former Prime Minister Vajpayee has introduced the National Mission for Manuscript. A country is developed means not only economic, because educational. If you want to education, we want to show, we have to show what are the literary sources in India. That's why that education, that National Manuscript Mission was started to count what are the manuscripts available and how can we preserve. If any rare manuscript, we have to give much importance for preservation of the things. That was the motive. National Mission for Manuscript was started in 2003, and it is still it's going on. And far with that things also, Tamil Nadu government, Department of Archaeology, they want the commissioner and the ministry want to preserve the Tamil manuscript, because most of the Tamil manuscripts, some of the manuscripts are in their personal collection in different peoples in their houses, but it is not accessible. So sometimes if the father has died, the children could not have a proper view to preserve the things. They are not having the intention to preserve this thing. So this is a loss to the language. So that's why this some 3 months back only this Tamil manuscript mission was started, and they selected me as a coordinator, state coordinator. And here we have some 5 zones also. From we have appointed some staffs from different zones, and we approach every village and every person those who are having manuscript, and we are not collecting from them. Just we preserve, and we have we take that camera to their house only, and we will take that digitalization, and digital copies must be stored in different language libraries, so anybody can look after it. Even if the manuscript is destroyed, the thought content of the manuscript should not be destroyed. That is the motto. So this is last 1 month only we are concentrating, and we are surveying the different things. On part because we have the list of NMM, and that way we are continuing that work. So this is the method of surveying also. After that, just we are just mostly all the libraries, they are having a good equipment and other things. So from the library already they have digitalized, means we will get only the PDF copy. If wherever there is not digitized, we ourselves we will do it in a proper way, and all the PDF copy we will store in different libraries, so anybody can go through it also. The catalog, and we will find to make a union catalog for Tamil manuscripts also. That is also our way, and we are giving training, reading training to the peoples also. And that way, if any manuscript is not unpublished, then we have to publish immediately for that benefit of the person. So most of the Siddha Marthuva, there is no medicine. Siddha medicine is still it is pending. A lot of my manuscripts will be published. So this is the thing just about the library and other things. But actually, I have not brought directly on manuscripts because manuscripts preservation is a very long thing. So now today I want to share my experience with the librarian how to preserve the books and books only. So with the few words, I want to go my uh, PowerPoints. So are you viewing the slides, sir?
It's opening, sir. Just yeah, you can maximum. Yes, now it's visible, sir. Go ahead,
Okay,
sir.
okay. So this just I want to share the library materials. Means mostly nowadays manuscripts are very less. So I want to concentrate the books only, books and other materials. Is there. That is my topic here. So mostly every library nowadays we are having paper-based materials and non-book materials. Non-book materials, paper-based materials is all the printed books, journals, maps, diaries, and all these things. Even paper manuscripts also it will come in that way. Non-book material we can say there's magnetic-based material, photographic-based material, electronic-based material. These are all library materials nowadays in this contemporary libraries mostly. Whatever the material, just we have to go. What is the conservation? Conservation, we can classify the conservation in two. One is preventive conservation, another one is curative conservation. Preventive means if we know the things, what is the material and how we can it will deteriorate, and how can we protect it. If we know all these things, we can easily preserve it. So the preservation of any manuscript is called preventive conservation. If any materials are damaged, again we have to do some curation work, restoration work. That is called curative conservation. So now for this conservation, we must know what is the nature of the material. What is the material? If it is a paper means what is the paper? And constituents of the material. What are the books and book? What are the materials is available in there? And what are the causes? What are the factors for causing the deterioration and preservation techniques and restoration technique? If we know these five things, then only we have to preserve our materials. So paper-based materials, mostly paper documents is there, paper manuscripts are there, and books is there, drawings are there, maps is there. And in this way, we have a library materials in different things. If we want to preserve any book and thing, first we have an idea about what is paper. What is a paper? Generally, what is a paper? Paper, what is a paper? Generally, everybody knows, just generally everybody knows paper, but what is a paper? Paper is nothing but it's a plant-based fiber. Just it's a pelting and matting of plant fiber. It is called the cellulose fiber. That is called paper. Generally, now we are telling that paper is from China, but we have some reference that paper was introduced, invented in India. There is in 327 BC. Alexander when came to India, and he found there is a cotton-based plates were used. There's one Nature's historian mentioned these things. One research scholar from Handmade Paper Research Institute in Pune has established that research scholars fact. So India was there, but anyhow we are not having, because of the tropical climate, we are not having any evidence for the claiming that India was the first. So the credit goes to China, because the China, all that is dates back to 105 AD only. 105 AD they have it's an accidental invention, because actually when T. Sai Lun, he was an officer in the China court, he was preparing a cloth for writing. When they are beating on that stone, some of the powder things will fallen down and it will be a paper-like thing. So that's why the Chinese, they kept the secret of preparation of paper for more than 600 years. In 610 only, some of the people were arrested from there, and the paper technique went to other countries. So again, the paper technique introduced to India in 10th century only. That is the history of the paper. The types of paper only, paper means not only fiber. We can say that the fiber is a joint one another, is called a material we are using, sizing material. And to fill that porosity, we are using some other materials called loading material. So a paper having the fiber and all these things. So we can classify the paper according to the impurities. So generally, we have a 4 group of paper. One is a cotton-based paper, bark-based paper, grass paper, and wood pulp paper. Cotton-based paper, cotton fiber, they use cotton fiber. When any book prepared with the cotton paper, it is a long-lasting because there is no impurities. There's only 8% only impurities there. Another thing is there is a bark. Bark of jute, bark of linen, bark of some other material. So these are the things having only 25% impurities. 75 is pure. And other just a grass group, just coconut, sugar cane, and bamboo, all these things, they are having 55% pure, 45 impurities. And wood pulp, the last thing, 45 pure, 55 impurity. That's why mostly the wood pulp paper is used for dailies, weeklies, all the less live paper materials only. So this paper also, when we are preparing the paper with the handmade thing, handmade method, we are not using much chemicals. When we are using the machine made, we are using chemical. So the paper, the longevity of the paper is on the fiber based and the materials based and the technique based. So this is the method mostly our so in the ancient days, mostly every paper was, they have prepared the paper very carefully. So there was for long lasting. Even a paper, we can see the paper 300 years old paper in foreign countries because the climatic condition and the proper technique, handmade paper technique. But nowadays, it is because of the bleachness, chemicals, and other things, the paper will deteriorate very fastly. So then the printing came. Printing, because in the Buddhistic, they want to share their Buddhistic jatakas, and so they want to make a printing immediately. So that there are multiple copies, preparation of multiple copies. First in AD 868, they have prepared a block printing. So in the wooden blocks, they have carved that letters in inverted way, and they apply blackness and put the paper over it. That is the method they have. It is called block printing. The block printing was prepared in 1868 AD in China and Japan. So that was the thing. They have mostly Buddhistic manuscripts were printed, but normally the printing came in around 1438 to 50, because James Gutenberg has prepared in that movable printing. And the first printing press came to India was in 1558. That is it's also an accidental. In 1578, the first printed book printed, that is in Tamil language. That is a printing press came to Goa, and because those days mostly the Tamil peoples were there, so there is a Christianity book, Tamburan Vanakam, Doctrina Christam. It came in 1578. The first printed book in India was printed in 1578 only. Later that in 1712 in Tamil Nadu, there's a Trankabar, and in Calcutta also, it spread it also. So this was the thing, the printed book came. So even then, up to 1835, the British they didn't allow others to printing. So that in the only 1 or 2 books, even particularly the Tirukkural was the only book printed in 1812. We know the British, they didn't allow the Christian missionary only, they didn't allow, only they can use their printing press for their propaganda materials only, Bible and other things only. Only in 1835 to 1867, they allowed to print others also, but they have to, before printing, they have to submit a book to the government. So any materials, any matter should not be against them. So they have to go through it, and they have to allowed printed. So only in 1867 only the British government gave permission for the, because given an order, that is the Press Registration Act came in 1867. So from that, anybody can start printing press, and they can, anybody can. Even then, they have to submit to one copy to them. So that copy was, now, even nowadays, we are preserving it in the British Library, and so that was the thing. So still 1900, the books printed was very, very clean and very, very good. Very, very clean. The paper was very good condition and everything. Only after 1900, there is a printing press was more. They want some more chemical, more paper. So they have prepared various type of chemicals and other things to. So when the chemicals and other things are more, then automatically deterioration starts. So it is very difficult to find a book printed in 1920 to 1940. That is the period where more bleaching was used. 1940, after that, the people were little realized. But nowadays, even printing is unbleached paper, and good quality paper also nowadays coming out. So a book is the printing. It's not only printing. Just you can see our ancestors were very, very clever, and how the folding, the stitching also. So we have to open the. It should be a full open. If we want a full open, there must be a section stitching. So there is a some 6 pages, 6 sheets. They folded it, and 6 sheets folded it, and they have joined it. That way, the stitching is there. And stitching, and they have the end paper, and the paper, the book's paper should not be damaged. So they have a cover. So 1 millimeter, little more than that. The cover also. There's a stitching and all these things. When they are tanning the paper cover, the book should not be disturbed. So this is a very, very technically. So there's all the our law books and other rare books also. In this form only they have done it. So this is the books are how to know. You have to know what are the things. For these books, we have a end paper, we have a straw board, we have some cloth, we have other things also, gum and other things. So the longevity of the book is based not only the paper, not only the printing, not only along the other materials also. So the binding. So they have nowadays we have various type of binding, the spiral binding. So if anything or we want to use immediate thing, but it is not for long lasting, for immediate, maybe 1 year or things, we can use spiral. And we have less papers, we can use strip binding. And sometimes we want to preserve a book for a long time. They have cloth binding, that is half calico, half cloth, full cloth, cloth with corner, and all these things. How they have decided it? How decided it? If encyclopedia. Encyclopedia is for long lasting. For it to come must be some 50 to 100 years. So they have to put full leather or full calico, all these things. And if you want to preserve this dictionary, then it must be there. Because all these things, any book, even all the register, they have to pull leather also. Because anything, if you want for long days, you have to give good binding system and good covering all these things. So this is the method of preparation of the books and books. So if you make a book, everything is okay. But then you have to take a preventive conservation. What is a preventive? Just a preventive means if we know what are the things will be affected, then you can control it. So it's an appropriate storage system. System must be, storage must be in a proper period. And our environmental condition, proper environmental condition, proper handling technique. And even sometimes when we're using chemicals or any materials of insecting, we have to use, no, you should not be blind. You should not use anything blindly. Because that library has used this material, why can't we use it? So that it's not there. Why they have used that material? So whether that will be suitable to our thing. Now, I want to share experience of mine. I have been in Japan when my training in 1993 for conservation, paper conservation course. At that time, just that my teacher asked me and she told a problem. What will you do this for problem? I told I will use these chemicals and to control it. And he asked me, how you know it? So I had my training, and after my training, I am reading all the publication of foreign countries, and I am using it also. I'm using that things, and he immediately mentioned that see, whatever the technique followed prepared in foreign countries, they have an R&D of only 21 degree centigrade, but you people, you are blindly following 35 degree. But you are not preserving, you are destroying your material. And I astonished, and he instructed me, say, you go and you find your own technique or your climate. That was the best thing, because the natural materials is the best thing to avoid traditional this more chemicals. The chemicals will be affect the human and also your material. That's why then after that I came and I will find our own technique of thing. Then this is I think our periodical verification. Periodical verification also very. So our forefathers are very clever and they have do this periodical verification. Particularly they have put 2 days in a year. Any material, when you have a book collection or manuscript collection, you must handle that book or manuscripts twice in a year. That is in the month of before rainy season. That it falls, the day falls in Saraswati Puja. Saraswati Puja is not for praying the gods. It is only to clean the books and manuscripts. If you clean it, there will not be. If you are not cleaning, if a manuscript will have dust, automatically when the rainy season, that climate is more moisture, the dust will absorb the moisture and it will keep the moisture for a long time. When the moisture is there in your book, automatically spores in the atmosphere will grow as a fungus. When the fungus grows, automatically there is a filthy smell. It attracts insects. So the insect will come and eat and the fungus and also the soft paper, and they lay eggs. The eggs, the hatched, the larvae maximum damage to our book. So that is the thing. So that is the thing. Before rainy season, after rainy season also, we have to do aeration. Just we have to tan the pages. When we tan the pages, if excess moisture is there, automatically it will evaporate. These are the things we have to, our ancestors have taught to us, but we are not, we have westernized and we are not having much knowledge of the things. So this language, these books, most of the library we have a book support and all these things. And some the wooden cupboard. Because we have ancient days, all the manuscripts and books were stored in wooden cupboard. Why wooden cupboard? What about the steel cupboard? Wood is the best for storing our books and manuscripts, because wooden cupboard. When we are living in the hut, in summer it will be cold, in winter it will be hot, because the material what we are using the hut will be absorb some of the moisture. In summer it will release some of the moisture. So if in summer it will be released and in winter it will absorb. The same thing the wooden cupboard also do. But if you have a present day house or a steel cupboard, whatever the climate outside, it will go inside. So that will be dangerous. So that is the thing. Long books, most of the books in the ancient days are in good condition, but present days you cannot say that. Some of the now modern library, we are having a good system of all these things, and we have books stacked in a very neatly. And nowadays, most of the education institutions, they are having this type of stick. And even if it's a more thing, they have a collapsible track in foreign countries, because of to space problem nowadays. Racks and rail systems is there, that will be there. So whatever may be, just if we want to preserve the things, you must know what are the factors of deterioration. So the factors means I am classifying a physical factor, biological factor, chemical factor, and human factor. What are the physical factors? Physical factors falls that dust, light, heat, and humidity. See, dust is a major problem. If dust is not there, there will 50% of the problem will be solved. Then the light. Light is ordinarily the light has a various magnetic rays are there. Each rays has their power is there. Any rays having a less wavelength, they have more power. So that's why our eyes can view only certain rays only having that wavelength. That is wavelength having 380 nanometer to 720 nanometer can be our eyes can our human eye can be. Before that, that is a Vibgya. Before violet, we cannot show. That is before violet, we have alpha rays, before beta, gamma, and X-rays and ultraviolet rays also. After red, we have ultra infrared rays and other things also. But only we can view that light rays having the nanometer of 380 nanometer to 720 only. So before violet, we have a ray is there, but all the alpha, beta, gamma can be controlled by the atmosphere. But ultraviolet will be come along with the violet. So ultraviolet rays has more damage to our material. If the sunlight or any light falls directly to your material, it will be light has a effect of bleaching and will create some heat effect also. So the material, whatever the things, if you have a handwritten or you have a painting, and automatically, if even that's why the Ranganathan has advised us the stack room must be east to west, not the sunlight from the east should not fall directly to your thing. But if it is east to west, automatically the light will be go from the this end to that end. There will not be much natural light will be get it. So that's why we have to light must be there, and then heat. The heat, every material must have some 50% moisture content. That is just to flexibility. And if you have a moisture content, if you lost the moisture content, it will be brittle. So that's why the heat will be, the moisture content will evaporate due to the heatness. That's why we can say there's a stack room need 45% to 65% RH and 21 degree to 30 degree heat centigrade. If it is more than that, it is a hot climate. If it is less than 20, it's a cold climate. So we have to keep accordingly. So some measures are there, but even those days they have used in rainy season we have a good curtain. They will put it in the windows and everything. And even in summer, there was in the every window has some cuscus 30, because you can see in Tamil called Nanari 30 and outside it, and they put a mud pot and over it, whatever the window. The mud pot, a new mud pot have a leakage of mud water. It will come down and it will be freezing inside it. So this was traditionally they have an air conditioning system like that, and even they put some water pot on the corners. So because mostly due to because why we are sweating in when summer means actually when sweating means just the air is expand due to heat. The air is expanding. When the air expands, automatically it needs some more moisture. When the moisture, if there is no area, then the moisture from the book will be evaporated. So if you put a bucket of water in the corners, the water will be. This is the system our forefathers they have done it in the temples. Most of the South Indian temples, you will find that tank. Every temple must have a tank. If you ask what somebody why the tank means the tank to water take water for puja or to take bath or like this, but no, this is a control of uh, total massive climate control. If it's summer, that water from that tank will be evaporated and it control the whole climate. So now, I think most of our fellow participants will visit the Taj Mahal. You can see the Taj Mahal totally all around is water ponds are there because the water ponds only protecting the thing. So this moisture will be the development. So heat is also there. And humidities we have to control. Generally, 45 to 65% of moisture in water is must be there. If it is less than 45, it's a dry climate, so that mostly the books will be brittle. And it's more than 65, it's a wet climate. So in summer, it will be there. If it wet climate is there, immediately fungus growth. If it is fungus growth, automatically you can find there is a insect. Generally, everybody knows there is a silverfish. It will come there. So the silverfish will be the first monitoring instrument So if silverfish is there, then your fungus is, it grows there. And automatically you have to take measure to control the silverfish and continue to other insects also. This is the method of physical factors. Biological factors already I have also some insects only. Insects will come only when there's climatic change or fungus is there. If you have automatically the climatic is controlled, no insect will come. No insect will come. The silverfish won't come, and even the fungus is not there. Insect will and the book lice is not there. One book worms is also not there. Book lice will come only when you give a book for binding. If your binding was not properly dried, then that spine inside the spine you will find that the book lices are there. So if you have properly dried it, there will not be any problem on that. This is the thing. And cockroach is there, another insect. The cockroach will be wherever the filth is smell, the cockroach is there. So that if you have a foodstuffs inside the library, automatically the cockroach is there. So if your toilet is very near to the attached stack room, then cockroach will be there. So that must be, you have to take control, and if good smell, the cockroach won't come. That is the thing. And termite is another thing. The termite comes to your library when, because our ancient days, our building, all the house building or every building, they built the floor is from 3 feet higher than the ground. So because after rainy season, there is a capillary action from the ground. Water will go there, and the capillary action, whatever the termite inside the soil will go there, go up to 3 feet. So it won't go to more than 3 feet. So this is the technique automatically controlled, plant-based. And another thing is plant-based control. So they put banana trees around the house because it will absorb the more water, and some ashok trees also they put it near the building. So the building it will absorb the water. These are the controlling of natural control of our termites and things. These are the biological factors control. Chemical factors are nothing but mostly the climatic changes and some more automobile or industrial, all these things. And whenever there's a pollution in the air, when the pollution, when moisture is there, the pollution will become acid, and it will be affected. And sometimes when we ourselves also, we are doing some damages also. The human factors are, we are doing it. Because it's only and only we are wrapping that books in a brown sheets or sometimes some newspapers. Newspapers have more acidity, and brown sheet also acidity. When we cover it automatically, the acidity from your brown sheet or newspaper will go to your book. That will affect it. So you should not use that thing. So actually, wherever I go, I'll advise any manuscript you have to cover with acid-free paper only. So these are the insects. The cockroach will be only, it will affect when the rainy season, it will scratch in the photograph or any gelatin coating paper only. But the bookworm, it will be, this is the affected bookworm affected book. It will go from one side, from other side, it will completely, if you are not controlled, automatically the whole book will be damaged. So this is a termite apart. So termite will outside, it will go inside, and the whole cupboard can be controlled decided in one night, because if you are not this is a human damages. So nowadays, most of the foreign countries, they have a bookmark in every table. So to avoid this type of problem, they have to use. We have to give some training to the users for avoiding this type of things. And even ourselves also, we are using the cellotape, even it here. And cellotape is nothing but a polythene sheet with some gum which is not dried immediately. So when we dry it automatically, it will by pressure, the gum will come out and it will attach the adjacent sheet also. And also it will have some stain on the paper. So we have to avoid these things. Instead of that, we can use ordinary gum with some very thin tissue paper or for repairing one. So you have to avoid this thing. So this is a newspaper. It has some acidity. You can find that the top of the book is a brown color. The brown color has because of the newspaper. And brown paper also having this type of acidity. And so mostly we are not giving training to the readers. They are having it. Just they are pulling the book in this way. So generally we should not store the book very tightly. we have to take out the book in this way. It's damaged. Frequently when we are taking, it will damage. So that thing we have to pull the book in this form. So this any minor repair we have to do immediately. If we are not doing it, it will make very major repair. So nowadays, most of the books are in this condition because these people are not doing any binding technique. Just they are previously they have a folded and they have stitching and everything is there. Now this is a separate sheets and that's in the back they have some saw and they apply some gum. So the gum is okay in foreign countries because the climate is like that. But in India, when it dries, when you open, it will break. So this is the method. Mostly when it will break, the paper will come out. So that is the very one. All the foreign books nowadays we have the problem of this type of because with this book has some space is there, but most of the book has no space in the for stitching also. That is the problem. And we should not open a book more than 120 degree. If you open a book more than 120 degree, automatically the binding will be spoiled. So we have to take care of that handling also. But it's actually nowadays our ancestors they have used some book stand that is Saraswati Bidam. Nowadays, in foreign countries, they have this type of support because some of the sponges support. So mostly India's library, they won't allow anybody with a pen and they allow only notebook and pencil only because only then we are making underlining itself. So they have to use this type of book support also. So this is the thing. But how can we already we have control of light means how can already some screening we can do it in the some the windows we can use some screening, but light loosened screen and a light loosened screen when we are using it to control the light and also if it is a more moisture it will give and even the summer the from the screen also it will release some moisture so that we can do heat also we have to control it that is insects or repellents also there we will see that also chemicals we can use so sometimes we are blindly we are using the naphthalene balls
Pirmal sir, Pirmal sir, you are not audible. Sir, kindly go ahead, sir.
there is a power problem.
No problem, no problem. Kindly go ahead.
Uh, Mostly nowadays foreign countries even the binding is not that they have acid free boxes they are using it and lamination is nowadays they mostly they have left it because lamination it's not irreversible reversible it is not there so that's why encapsulation any seat if you want to handle encapsulation is one of the method they are having it. So this is the thing there nowadays you can see I want to these are the acid free boxes mostly in foreign countries they are using it. We can prepare because even we have this type of handmade paper is available. Any book damaged, we can immediately if we are not any facility to any rebinding, we can do it here because our binding is there. But even when binding, binders are making it new things also. But we must keep it originality. Then we have to do it, this type of thing. So this is the thing I want to share the thing. But now we will go for the precautionary measures of for post-COVID-19 situation. The post-COVID-19 means last 2 months, most of the libraries are not open, not open. When we are getting order to open the library, what we have to do? But when we are entering the things, so because of the power fluctuation also, even in the electricity also, when we are put it, we give full load, automatically there must be some fire problems is there. So you have to check it the buildings first. Building any damage is there, because things are when you open it, you have to give electricity by phase, area by area, and you go to each and every lights, whether it's functioning, whether every fans are functioning, everything we have to computers also and equipments also we have to give specially each and everything, because some of the fans for long 2 months which is not functioning means because due to the lubricant will be stuck it. And then you have to at least manually you have to rotate it. Then it will start. So if you are not doing that thing, automatically there is a fire problem is there. So this is the thing you have to do the thing. Then the stack room. The first, because automatically we are wearing that mask, and you have to wear gloves to your hand. Gloves, without gloves, you should not touch anything also. You can wear that thing, because in the stack room, 2 months is there. Must be more dust, maybe insects, all these things are there. First thing, the air you should not inhale the air, because it's a packed air for 2 months. So first thing, you have to open all the windows and put the fan at least 3 hours. So all the things will be go out. So this is the thing. It cannot be changed the air package of air in within 3 hours. At least 1 or 2 years, 2 days you have to change it. Then you have to clean the book. Clean, because there must be some dust deposit with these 2 months. So you have to take. If you have a vacuum cleaner, you can suck the things, and properly you have to take the book out and suck it and turn the pages. You turn the pages, open the book, turn the pages. So any insect is there, anything is there. Even if a larva is there, if you turn the page, it will die, because mostly the insect and larva will be, grows in a particular climate only. When you change the climate, automatically will die. So this can be done near a window, so that the climate will be there. Because the 2 months are luckily God's grace. This COVID came in summer. If it is a winter, certainly 50% of your book you lose. You lose 50% of the book because of the fungus growth and the book. But this is a summer, you're not having much problem. If you have an air condition, and there must be some problem, must be there some corners maybe. But in ordinary library, in this insect problem must be not there. But due to that heat and the dust must be there. Due to heat, the book must be in the same position. So that's why you have to turn the pages slightly, and some air. Yes, all the dust must be, you have to remove it also. So this is the thing. And the verification, just from top to bottom, you have to verify. Top to bottom, you have to verify. Because even termite must be there, some other insects must be there. You have to clean it, because mostly insects will live in dark area. When the lights are coming, when we do it, automatically it will control. So then once from one corner to one other corner, you have to personally, you have to verify all these things also. Verification, the floors and stack room, and also the closed cupboards also you have to open for some times, because the air must be there. You have to, so that must be, you have to do this. And cleaning must be all the floors. Furniture must be all the furniture will be clean. Stack room must be clean, and books personally, every book must be, you have to clean. So this is you have to take at least 2 or 3 days for doing all these things personally. Then only this control be the COVID-19 control. It must be in your control. Now after that, what are the precautionary measures you can do? This is also already you must have that hand gloves must be there to clean the things. books must be tanned the pages if any damage is found. That type of books you must be kept separately, because if once affected, it should not be in the stack room. That must be taken separately, and you can keep it in near window also. Some window the light comes in, wherever the light comes in. You can keep it in the near window. That is also you can do the things. And whatever may be inside the cupboard, because of the dust, the smell must be little not in a suitable way, because it's some filthy smell must be there. You have to change the smell. You have to change the smell. So just like a closed room, when you enter it, you have so it need a room spray. Room spray. How much room spray you can spray it in your stack room? So that's why this is some material. Sweet flag. Sweet flag. In Hindi, it is called across calamus. Calamus. Hindi is a gora bacha. Hindi it is a gora bacha, but it's a chemical name is across calamus. It is a stem of a plant. In generally we called vasambu in Tamil, vasa, like that. It's a stem of a plant. It give a good smell. It will keep away the insect. So you have to purchase in a natural thing. You have to break small pieces, and kept the pieces in between the two rows of the in your book rows, in between the book rows. Automatically, when you open the door, it is a very healthy thing. It won't affect it. Instead of that, if you put any chemicals, that will affect your health. So this is a method you can use. This is a sweet flag is a only material. This is a suitable material nowadays. The health also, and change the smell of your stack room. And even a closed cupboard, you can use it. Particularly in the back volume section, you have to do these things. Back volumes mostly, it's not using much thing. And some places, some of the places, some library I have seen, back volumes are the underground. Certainly you have to remove the back column of other places, because underground means due to that ground moisture, it must be more filthy. So that books must be brought out to in open, and then you have to change the air and you can do it. So this is the thing. And in the ground floor are some of the air conditioned area. If you find that there is some books have some fungus or something like that, you can use, sorry, this is a one. This is a camphor, waxless camphor. This camphor you can purchase in some of the some traditional shops also. This camphor waxless. So this camphor you put it a white cloth, some soft cloth, and put it, and you have to add some more pepper along with it, because it is very fastly evaporated. Because pepper, when you keep it, it will control the rate of evaporation. So that you can do it also. So if in the corners, if you find there is an insect or some fungus is there, then this is that is across columns will be insect repellent. And some institution, just in Saraswati Mahal Library, we have a special method of these things. Sweet flag, one part. Black cumin, kala jeera is one part. Bark of cinnamon, one part. And pepper, quarter part. Cloves, quarter part. All these things we will dry it in the shadow, grind it, and 1 spoon of the powder and small piece of camphor, and put it in just like a pack, and keep it in the cupboards, in between the cupboards. That will be very, very effective for fungus and insect. This way you have to prepare it if you are, you can do it. This in Saraswati Mahal Library from 1882. There's one the library in Kuppa Bhatta is process there, and even now this process is following that library, and we are spreading this knowledge to others. So this chemicalless, it won't affect your health. It will be good for health also. This is the material. This you can see. This is the kala, which is jeera, kala jeera, and bark of cinnamon, and pepper, cloves, and so these 5 things we have to dry it and powder it, and in a small cloth, 1 spoon of the powder and a small piece of camphor, you put it there. So this will be keep away the insects and the thing. So this is a natural material all over India. Now we can use it also without chemical. But the chemical means you have to take care of. If you find any books very damaged, then you can have a cupboard separately, this type of way. You can keep the books, any book affected, you can keep it near a window. You can make a cupboard in this way, near a window, keep the books inside it, and put, there's some chemicals are there. If it is a fungus, thymol is a chemical, we are using it. And otherwise, para-dichlorobenzene is there. So it needs some expertise for this uses of chemicals. But previous things, no need. It won't affect your health, or it won't affect your material also. So that is the safest method. If you find anything, then you can use, this is a fumigation chambers. You can keep it and you can use that things also. This is a when, so this is the immediate method, or immediately you will have some problem. These things we must hear. Others just is you can suggest some suggestion, you can do it. Sanitizer, sorry, spelling is not. Sanitizer hand washing facility may be kept in the entrance of the library building. So anybody will come, they have to use. Frequent cleaning of the furniture and chairs, and that is, you can say. Surface and counter, that is discharging, charging now, discharging. If the books coming from outside, certainly that area you have some protection. There is some glass panel protection must be. You can keep it also. Instead of that, you can do it. You can change your library policy for 1 or 2 months. Make the system closed access system. If it is a closed access system, we are not allowing anybody to the stack room. So the people from the OPEC based, even some, most of the institutions, they are having OPEC, they can access from their home itself. So that we assess what are the books they want, they get to put their order in the message itself. Then you can tag the book and you can say this book is ready, and they can come and you collect it. So you can avoid much people inside the stack room. And that also there is a possibility if for that month, for some months, because it's not it's an against our most of our Ranganathan policy, but this situation you can do this also. And through the books, but for this just our National Digital Library of India, more digital resource must be, we have increased, and it will be very usefully they can download, they can use that. And another thing, to reduce the readers, we can have a shift system. So for third year this day, first year this day, all these things, because it will be easy for the librarian also tag the books from the thing, to implement the closed access system from the library. So this also we can, this is some suggestion, you can possibly you can do that. This is a common seating arrangement. You can reduce it, and the things must be. And dailies and returned books. Dailies and returned books is coming from outside. So these things, you must have a separate box, a wooden box or any plastic covers with come zip. You keep it inside it and spray the sanitizer for some times, at least some hours. Then or maybe half an hour or 1 hour. Then you can open it and keep these things from near a window, and then they can use it. So that is another thing. Most of the windows you can have the mulcloth screen. So it will, if anything is in the spraying in the air, the cloth will absorb, because the cloth is a dust absorbing system is there. So you can use some cloth. It will control the germs from outside, it will coming inside, and inside also it will be there. That cloth may be taken out once and twice in a day, twice in a week or weekly, to clean it and reuse that thing. That is also there. And apart from the, just I have suggested, there must be some air washing. Air washing is there. If you have an industrial fan, you put it in the near the entrance. If anybody comes inside, that forceful air also little clean the any germs or dust in the entrance, the people in the entrance. These are some of the method we can utilize the post-COVID 19. So that's a thing I want to use. Apart from our paper material, some of the library we are having magnetic records and the micrographic records and electronic records. Because mostly nowadays magnetic records and these things must be rewind it. Whatever material if you want, you have to, because of dust accumulation and sometimes the fungus, you have to rewind it. The micrographic record also you have to re-roll it. If the microfilm is there, you have to re-roll it. And electronic record, you have to check it. If you have a CD, then you would put it in the CD. Because anything for long days, there must be some lacking of for continuity of it. So you have to retouch it. You make continuity. If electronic and other things, you have to make continuity. So everybody's microfilm is there. So microfilm, if you are not doing microfilm, re-rolling it, rewinding it. So once in 2 years, we have to rewind it. If we are not doing, automatically due to the fungus, it will be attached together, and that is also there. And some library must have this type of microfiche. Microfiche is there, and microfiche card. This is a microfiche you put with a separate card. Some places they have put one another in the same packet, so that you have a possibility for attaching one another due to the climatic change. So this also you have to clean that things also. It's a method of digitization. Mostly we have the digitization, and the digitization nowadays it's an overhead camera. This one a good DPI and do good memory and whatever thing, because TIFF format, and even according to that page, it's in a 150 to 600 DPI also there, and they are preserving it. Because for utilization part of they have it. But whatever may be, and even the storage system, we have to once in a frequently, we have to, if you have a hard disk, at least once in 6 months, you have to just put on and you have to do it. But once you record it, you keep it for a long time, then it will be a problem. So this is the thing just I want to share with you. If you need any question, I'm ready to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Perumal sir, for this amazing and excellent presentation. We all enjoyed. So I could,
Sir,
during your presentation itself, a lot of people were thanking you for this presentation. So
thank
there are some couple of questions that have already come in. So if you could
you.
stop sharing your screen, then I
Okay,
could,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So the first question is from
Uh,
Miss Sandhya B. Devesh.
yeah.
Sir, in your opinion, what is the most effective way to get rid of silverfish damaging the books?
So silverfish is a monitoring. My experience says silverfish comes only when the after rainy season, when there is a fungus is there. That is the only thing. If you have changed the climate and some fan other thing, you will find it automatically. Otherwise, I can suggest you can prepare starch paste, starch paste, and put some odorless chemical. See, some of the insecticide, we can see there is a three type of things: contact poison, stomach poison, inhaling poison. So we have to stomach poison. So boric acid. It's a commonly we get it in the medical shop. We'll put some half kg or some 100 grams, 100 grams, 10 gram of that powder. You prepare 100 gram of paste. You add 5 to 10 gram on that paste. Mix the paste and apply the paste in a cardboard. Dry to keep for drying. Then cut it in a small strip and kept in the back of the book. So it will come to, it's called sugar fish. It will come to eat the gelatin coating only. So this will the paste, and this will be controlled.
The next question is from Miss Nidhi Prasad. Her
Yeah.
question is sometimes lizards enter in the self. What to do with them?
Lizards is there. Lizards is it will come to eat any insect is there. Lizards won't affect your material. Lizards come to eat the material. They eat some of the insects or some of the flies or things like that. If your stack room is very clean, lizards will not come. Lizards will not come.
Okay.
Because that's thing, particularly if you put this sweet flag, that smell will keep away the insect. It's a repellent. So that what I told Sweat flag across calamus, that Gorabaksha, it's a repellent. If you keep it in the cupboards, certainly no insect will come.
So the next question is from Miss Aditi Varunkar. Her question is: in spite of pest control, we face
Oh.
termite problems a lot. What can be done to avoid it?
Termite problem means because the termite is, we can say the two type of termites. One is wood termite, another one is soil termite. If it wood termite means it won't much problem because only the wooden cupboards are thing. But only we have the soil termite only. Soil termite, if your building is very close to your ground floor, certainly there will be possibilities there. So that's why there's everywhere they are having some injection of walls, and that will be affected only 5 years only, arsenic basic thing. But the only thing is, if we have more problem, you make a ditch around your stack room wall, stack room wall, at least 3 feet out. You can make 1 feet ditch. Certainly, you'll control the
So
thing,
the next
because
question.
you have to separate the ground moisture to your building moisture. If you do that things, automatically termite will be controlled.
So the next question is from Gopi Krishna.
Yeah.
In our library, all the books are kept in iron cupboards. What is the main
Oh.
problem that would come in this?
Iron library means nothing but a cold winter season. It will be more cold. Whatever the coldness inside, go to your book. If it is in summer, it will be more hotness. So go to it. That is the problem. But generally we have to keep it. If the books, and generally paper damages because of the fluctuation of heat and humidity. If we have to keep it in a very clean, mostly foreign countries, all the books are in good condition because they are keeping 24 hours air condition. In India, we have a working hours air condition. One morning, 10 o'clock, we have put on the AC, and 5 o'clock put off. What will be happen in the night? So that will be change. So all the books are in sophisticated time in the daytime. The night, it will have some more bulging and other things are there. So when more moisture is there, it absorbs the moisture, it will expand. When it dries, it will release the moisture contact. So this will be affect your stability of the book. So that's you have to, if you even if you have a steel cupboard, you make use of some other method to control your climate. That's why just in summer you put it some moisture cupboard, water pot in the corners of your building, so that will evaporate. In
Sure.
winter, you put its curtain to windows. The curtain will absorb, and even flooring some mat in the floor that will absorb. So this will be managed. But if for monitoring, we have some hygrograph is there, and with you can use hygrograph for monitoring this area. If you want, if you perfectly, we can control that. Otherwise, these things will be enough.
Sure, sir. So thank you so much for your amazing presentation and responding to the questions. One of the participants has said, "You are the doctor of books." So that's
Thank
the
you.
title they have given you. They have given you. So we are very thankful for your valuable time and valuable knowledge sharing with us. Now I have a couple of housekeeping announcements for the participants. Uh, so I have just shared the feedback form URL in the chat box. So I'm going to put this in the chat box again. In case if you have not registered for this webinar, kindly register yourself first and then submit the feedback form. Okay. So that's the humble request. And tomorrow evening, we are having the closing ceremony of this reading month celebrations. And we request you to register for this reading month celebration that is going to happen tomorrow from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So you are requested to kindly join this closing ceremony, during which the results of various competitions will be also declared. With this, we would like to thank each one of the participants and our valuable resource person, Dr. Perumal, for enlightening us with amazing experience. I have learned a lot from him, and I'm sure many of you might have learned very new things from Dr. Perumal. We once again thank you for your valuable time and your knowledge, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The recording of this webinar will be available in the YouTube channel of PN Panikka Foundation. So I will just put this URL in the chat box, the live URL, so that you can access the entire presentation from this YouTube channel. And for our YouTube viewers, I'm just going to share the feedback form URL in the chat box. So kindly submit your feedback form. Just give me a moment. I'm just pasting it on your YouTube channel.